introduce some special guests. First up, we have James Phelps, who played Fred Weasley in the Warner Brothers films.
Yes.
And then Oliver Phelps, who played George Weasley. Evanna Lynch, who played Luna Lovegood. Matthew Lewis, who played Neville Longbottom. And Devon Murray, who played Seamus Finnegan.
So, I'm sure you guys have some questions to ask these guys. I'm going to ask you to raise your hand when you have a question, and I'll call on you just so we're not all talking at once. But I'm going to kick things off with a question, if you guys don't mind. I just want to know from you guys how it felt to be part of the Harry Potter film series.
Where did you start with a question like that?
That's all right. I suppose we could always say that there was a lot more worse things we could have done. Yeah, it was fantastic, and the fact that we're still associated with it because things like this can take place with like the celebration events, sort of fans can interact, and in what a great location this is Universal Orlando here. Yeah, it's been an absolute blast.
Yeah, I mean, what's to say? It's been an incredible experience that started when I was like 10, 11 years old. I'm 25 this year, and I'm still, still a part of it. Still here doing stuff for the world of Harry Potter. It's been incredible. It's hard to put into words, really. It's been a real roller coaster, and
we're always going to have a piece of Harry Potter here. It'll never be forgotten about, and it'll always still be part of our lives.
Yeah, it's nice to have that. I definitely find with the acting industry, it's so sort of cutthroat, and then we still have this cushion, and they're always so nice to us, and they do welcome us back like a family, and you don't really find that in this industry, and that's been lovely to have, and it's not going away anytime soon, which is cool.
So we'll turn it over to you guys. Let's start with Mickey.
Hi, we're obviously here at a Harry Potter fan celebration. It's been a few years since the last movie, but now we've got all this great theme park stuff happening. The fans are still very excited. Why do you think Harry Potter is timeless like that?
I think it's kind of because there seems to be like, so when the films were coming out, there's guys who watched it at the cinema, and now you've got the guys who were maybe too young to see it in the cinema, who've now got into it on home video or DVD. People are always getting into the books, and then they go to the film if they haven't necessarily seen the film. So there's always something that grabs people in, or even maybe if you just come to a great theme park like Islands of Adventure, just wander in and get into it that way. So I think that's why people seem to not recycle, but there's always new constant influx of people.
I think also as well the fact that I always felt with Potter, I don't think I felt this with many, because I read a lot of fantasy and science fiction, but I didn't feel it with other things, that Harry Potter very much could be real, because it wasn't, they still were normal teenagers behind it all, and they were dealing with a lot of the things that, other teenagers were dealing with growing up, I was dealing with, and so it felt very real, but it was still like sort of escapism at the same time, because it wasn't our world, and I think this is kind of, even, it's made that more clear, having the park here, like actually going from the Muggle world to the Wizarding world, and that's why everyone sort of wants to escape to that and have somewhere that's more fantastical than our world, but also that they can relate to.
Yeah, I mean, it's the stories. Sorry, a bit of a. You like this? The stories are universal. They go all across, age ranges, gender, race, they're accessible for anyone all over the globe, and I think that really helps. And the story is timeless. There's that epic battle of good versus evil, and there's characters that everyone can relate to in the story and follow their journeys, and the world's so vivid, the universe is so vivid that you can create these 3D immersive environments like they've done here, and people can just keep coming back and discovering new things, I think.
I'm not going to top anything they just said, so I just agree with them 100%.
Questions?
Are we going to be able to hear any of your voices or see any of your faces when we visit Diagon Alley this summer?
Yeah, so I'll take that one. I'm being filmed. There's a lot more information to come about Diagon Alley, and you guys know that. So, it wouldn't be Diagon Alley without some of our favorite characters from the Harry Potter film series.
So much for that question.
Matt, you alluded that you've been doing this for 14 years, more than half of your life. It's a long time, and there are people in the industry that certainly don't want to be, stigmatized with one person that they've portrayed, including the twins and everything else. Do you find yourself that you want to separate from Harry Potter at all, but you still want to come back to it on occasion, or do you want to stay with the fandom and just roll with it forever? What's your thoughts on separating yourselves?
It's a good question. As an actor, I think throughout the film series, particularly towards the end, myself, I definitely had one eye on the career side of it and where I was going to go post Potter. And I've been really fortunate. I've come out the back of it, and I've been working, and I've done stuff where I've been able to play characters that are so drastically different from Neville, and I've been really fortunate in that respect. There's definitely that idea of trying to do something different, but at the same time, you can't just ignore the past, and I'm not begrudging of Potter, because it gave me the ability to go on and do the all this stuff, and I get the chance to come to Florida and chill out and see these guys again and meet you wonderful people. When they asked me, I jumped at the chance, and I think it can be done alongside work at the same time. I think talking about previous roles I've played, not a big deal for me, I think.
I agree. I think definitely for me it gave me a career, and I don't think I would have had the confidence to even go into acting if it hadn't been for this. So it really pushed me into this, and I found that I love it. And it just, it opens doors, not just acting. We went to NASA the other day, the Space Center, and this guy brought us into a room. He's like, no one's seen this spaceship. Why? You just would never connect the two, but it does. It has opened so many doors. There's so many opportunities. So I think it is what you make of it, and you do want to mold your career and not be seen as a child all the time. And I don't know, for me, I'm really happy being identified with Luna, because I always gravitate towards those misunderstood characters and stories, and talking about acting range, that I love playing those characters, so for me it's a help. And I think every one of us, we've just been given a platform, and it's up to us what we want to do with it,
For me, doing Harry Potter was the best thing I've ever done in my life so far. So, I'll never begrudge the time that I spent on Harry Potter was the best thing I've ever done. And Seamus Finnegan, he was so much like me, connected straight through. Seamus is clumsy, I'm clumsy, so I'm kind of living Seamus's life every day of the week. I blow up my microwaves on a regular basis. Yeah, not on purpose, obviously. But so working on Potter was
You get
I don't think I could get typecast as such. To be fair, Seamus wasn't the biggest character in the world, and people remember me playing Seamus, but he wasn't on screen every 2 seconds. So it's a character that people can't forget about. They try to forget about. So I think for me, it's easier to go off in different ways. After Harry Potter, I kind of took a break to get back home and get back to my family, get back to horses, because being on Harry Potter for 10 or 11 years kind of tore me away from all my family and friends. So after Harry Potter, back home, back to normality a little bit, and now it's kind of time to get back in the saddle again and do more work.
Sharon.
I get reminded of Star Trek conventions when I see this here, but this is a little different. You guys are the same age as the fans who grew up with this. I'm kind of wondering if you get that kind of super fan who knows every thing you might have forgotten what you did. Did that ever happen to you? I'm wondering how you react to that.
You see them. Yeah, especially we were saying we had a look around the park today actually on a few of the rides, and were saying to the guys from Universal, like, so people often wear robes. You see the robes, and then you see the guys probably mid-20s or so with the lightning bolt on a Sharpie on their head, in the robe, queuing up to go on the ride. So it does mean so much to people, and yeah, it's quite interesting when they say, "Oh, so you remember in this film when this happened?" Trying to remember. So yeah, it does happen, but I think that just shows. Yeah, exactly. But I think that just shows what it means to people and how important it is to people's lives, and to be able to have represented something that was so significant to them is just.
Was it like that for you as a kid reading these books as well? Do you identify with that?
Yeah, a bit. Yeah, I mean, obviously when we were reading the books, the films hadn't come out, but at the same time, you've got an image in your head, and everyone knows someone in their lives like those characters. And I suppose that people see us, and especially playing good guys, a lot more open to coming and chatting to us, like their friends.
Scott?
Matthew, you said at the very top that somewhat like a roller coaster, and we are here at one of the greatest amusement parks, theme parks on this side of the pond. What is your favorite theme park experience?
Oh wow. You mean besides the wonderful world of Harry Potter?
Plus, that is it.
I mean, the thing about the theme parks over here, particularly Universal Studios and Islands of Adventure, is you just don't do anything by half. Like in the UK, our theme parks are like made of polystyrene, and they fall apart, and the illusions shattered very easily. Whereas here, it's all built to last, and it just feels so real. And you can one minute you can be walking down New York, and then you're in San Francisco, then you're in Hogsmeade, and it's just incredible what you do here. Everything's just bigger and better, and the roller coasters are great. I love the Hulk. Yeah, I like that ride.
I love Seussland. It's so beautiful. And I tend to wear a lot of colours, so I always end up blending in really well for Seussland. And also the Hollywood, the really crazy roller coaster, the red one with the dip. Yeah, the Rip Ride, that's what it's called. Yeah.
I think there's an experience and memory for us as when the Wizarding World opened. That was just insane because we were doing press, weren't we, at 4 a.m. And gradually the sun was coming up, and you could just see the line just getting longer and longer. And I don't know how many thousands of people turned up, but as an experience, I'll never forget that as long as I live. Like, people just wanted to be there, and even if they wouldn't have time to queue up to get in. I mean, the average ride time is, an hour and a half or something? I think it's like 12 hours or something, from where they joined the ride. But they just wanted to be there, so as an experience, that was something that would always stay.
I think yesterday, I'm a huge Simpson fan, and I went to Springfield yesterday. So I had a crusty burger and a Duff beer, and a flaming mauve, and that was really cool, and a big donut, which I feel quite shameful about.
It was the biggest donut I've ever seen.
It really was. But yeah, as an experience, that was really cool. But like Matt was saying, it's especially Universal here, they don't do things by half. So yeah, especially when a few of us saw what they've got in store for the summer, it does look really, really cool.
Jen?
Getting back to the books now, I mean, you talked about reading the books ahead of the movies. Were there any moments out of the books that involved your characters that you wish had actually made it into the finished film?
I was thinking what character didn't make was Peeves. Both guys really from a Fred and George to relate to. But I suppose they have to trim some stuff down to make it to get the films the way they are. But yeah, that was one character I would like to see.
Yeah, I always remember them saying that if they were to make everything in the first book into a movie, the movie would be about 7 hours long. So yeah, unfortunately they have to cut things out. But yeah, people are a pretty cool character in the books.
I was really gutted that I didn't get to commentate the Quidditch match, because I find sports really boring. Sorry, it puts me to sleep. So it would have been fun to make it more, just to do it the Lovegood treatment, I think.
Yeah, well, I think I've had sort of the same one for a few years. I think I always really wanted to shoot the stuff with Neville's parents in the St Mungo's Hospital. It was something that David Yates was really keen on, and we just, we kept saying every sort of month or so would go by, say, I'm really trying to get it back in. We're trying to find time, and it just got away from us, unfortunately, in the scheduling, and we never got around to shooting it. To which David was very apologetic, and it was a shame. I thought it was really quite important for Neville's backstory. It sort of showed what his inspiration was, and it sort of showed why he did everything that he did, and how he had Harry's back and fought the good fight. So that was a shame, but we just had to find that journey other ways, which I think we sort of did the best we could.
And for me, I think I actually got to film the part that never actually made it into the film. So it was when Neville comes in with his leg like a curse, and Seamus has to turn around and say he'll fix it, and Neville kind of gets up in his face and says, no, there's not a hope. What was it? You blow my kneecaps off or something. But Seamus had to have his ball patched in at the end of it, and I thought that was pretty cool because they had like my freckles and everything on it. It was kind of freaky looking. But I was always.
I thought it was real.
Well, I kind of got a ball patch there already, yeah. But yeah, I was always disappointed that never made it into the movie because I thought that was pretty cool. And I broke like 20 or 30 ones that day. I'd keep on banging them on the table, and like they weren't made the best, so they kind of snapped.
I remember that.
Every second take.
Jen?
Well, you all grew up together. Is this kind of like a high school reunion, or besides you two, do you all?
It is kind of, yeah. I mean, we still do keep in touch, but it was cool to have the gang back together, really. I don't know, it was kind of pick up where we left off, don't we?
Yeah, it's tough. Everyone's sort of around the world with filming schedules or whatever, and it's hard to find time to get people together. I mean, we sort of play cricket, don't we? Like once a year.
Yeah.
You play with Alfie and stuff. So people see each other and we stay in touch, but it's quite rare to have this kind of experience. It's kind of nice. It's been good fun the last few days.
Yeah, it's good because at least there's a slight structure to the schedule. But you're always together, so we can catch up on, even on old times as well. But also, just chill about what's going on and have some fun while we do it.
Yeah, and we always know there's going to be more of these, even when they say, this is it, it's done. How does it feel? It's done. It's never done. There's always I never get too emotional leaving all these people because, 6 months down the line there'll be another theme park somewhere in the world and we'll all be back.
So Matt and Mona, Matt, you mentioned that the opportunities this has really afforded you, and both of you have done stage in the last year and a half, and pretty major roles considering how young you are. Can you talk a little bit about those experiences and how you think that stage has been different for you, I guess, than film acting?
I think when I got off Potter, I kind of felt like a bit of a fraud in terms of acting. I was like, I don't know what to do. Because I knew Luna a little bit inside out, but it was more just the child in me coming out and playing. And I didn't know how to approach a character who I was already obsessed with or, really had a connection with. So that was just, I did something that was it was small scale because I wanted to just explore. And I found it challenging. It was because it wasn't, and also because it was this. I guess this is different from low budget and huge Harry Potter scale projects. Is that you have to be so much more responsible, aware of yourself. You have to look out for yourself because they don't have the luxury of time to spend on things, to keep going over things, and sometimes it can come out looking awful. Whereas with Harry Potter, if it looked bad, we just do it again and again and again until it looks great. So yeah, there was a certain, I felt more, I had more creative freedom, I suppose, and it didn't have to go through so many filters, that kind of thing. But yeah, I did, I enjoyed it, but I probably prefer film because, you can take more time over it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, mine was largely similar. You come out of a film like Potter we've done for so many years, and I'd never, a lot of actors job away on the theatre for years, before they get anywhere near a TV film camera. So I felt like I needed to go back and go to that sort of that purest form of acting and see if I could do it. So I did a kind of a smaller play originally, like years ago, like 3-4 years ago, and I was crap. I was like so bad. I just never done it before. I was really sort of in at the deep end, and it took quite a while to get through that. But sort of towards the end of the tour, the tour, I started to pick it up, and I learned from the other guys and got where I was going. And by the end of it, I was really enjoying it, and I was into it. And so when I got the chance to go on the West End last year, I just jumped at it, and it was a really great show. And I really enjoyed that. That was a much more pleasant experience than the previous play. I got what it was all about. Really loved it, and those experiences, those opportunities come off the back of this. Yeah, absolutely.
That play was amazing.
Did you see it?
Twice.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Yeah, you should have told more people.
I'm assuming you've all been over to Hogsmeade. I just wondered what is your favorite thing over there? And then, especially for you guys, when the new Diagon Alley opens, what are you looking forward to seeing in there? Especially with Weasley's Wizard Wheezes.
Yeah, the 18th-foot version of myself doing that. I think one of my favourite things over there is the frozen butterbeer, especially in the summer. That's probably one of my favourite things there. Just sitting out, and like Oliver said, when the park first opened, seeing everyone walk through for the first time, and just like me in Springfield yesterday, it is literally everyone's just. I'm sure that happens every day for the guys who work here. So I think that's one of the great experiences for me, is just seeing everyone, because we can't take it for granted because we've had the other thing in the UK. So seeing their reaction is fantastic. I think it's, as you said, for the later stuff, so to see the Weasley's Wizard Wheezes there, which isn't a soundstage, is probably I'm really looking forward to that. Really looking forward to it, and like the snack boxes and stuff like that. So there's some cool stuff. But that's all for a later.
I love just the detail that is put into it that makes it seem real. Like even the signs on the wall say "Keep your hands in the cart." They're done on scrolls. Like it all feels like Hogwarts. And when I love the mandrakes, I always have to stand and squeal at them for like 10 seconds. I find them funny. And the toads, the choir toads.
I think Ollivanders is pretty amazing. Getting to go in there, the whole experience of picking the wands, and that's amazing. The way, like, we were able to do things in Harry Potter that people would love to be able to do. Now they have the chance to come here and go in and have their wand picked out and try out different wands. I think that's pretty awesome.
I've been playing Jeopardy because I didn't hear the question. I've been trying to guess what the question was. Was it?
You've been to Hogsmeade, and what was your favorite part?
Okay, cool, right, yeah, great, sorry. That's what I thought it was. I just, that first moment when I went through the main entrance and could see the castle, off into the distance, and it just looked so big, and I thought, it looked so far away as well. I was thinking it's going to be so amazing going through this whole town, reaching up into the castle at the end, and you go into all the shops. That was kind of what, when I was a kid reading the books, that was what I just totally imagined. And obviously when you go on a film set, it's quite a bit different from that. And so to be able to come here and experience that like I imagined it, Harry experienced it in the book, was that was pretty cool.
We have time for one more question. Bart?
You had mentioned earlier seeing the line of people building when the original Wizarding World opened, and Harry Potter is really a phenomenon. So when did it impact you guys that you were part of something so much bigger, not just a movie, but something that would live on in theme parks and just have fans that are this devoted and more generations coming up?
I think every premiere, when that was the first time you see it, and you see more people arriving at them, and they got bigger and bigger. I mean, the final one was the biggest premiere I think ever held in London, which says something about premieres what we held in London. And then you hear on the grapevine how people are naming their children after characters and like really serious stuff. So yeah, it's kind of one of those things. I'm sure that when the expansion opens, it will be the same again. It'll be so I even subscribe for people to come and see it. But yeah, I think there's always going to be people getting into it and getting involved.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining us, and have a great time. Yes.